bring in Dr. Yansen to give us his take on contemporary Christian involvement in politics. Dr. Yansen, are you there?
All right. Thank you so much. I do believe that the principles that were shared by Professor Miller, they are helpful. There are a few things I would share from a perspective perhaps of the Old Testament. I do believe that when it comes to issues of governance, when it comes to issues of how we get involved as Christians, I think it's very dangerous in the 21st century for us to so separate our lives that we cease to be effective in making radical changes in our community. That what guides us is our moral obligation. What guides us is our relationship with God. The fact that I am following God is radical in and of itself. And that is going to bring about challenges in the political realm. It's going to bring about points where I would join with political leaders and times where I would disagree with them. I cannot stand aloof. My practice of the gospel does not allow me to stand aloof from what is taking place, whether those things relate to moral issues or those things relate to social issues. The gospel of Jesus Christ, the Old Testament foundation, does not allow me to stand aloof. Now, I think also we need to keep in mind that 19th century Adventism and the issues that they dealt with back then are very different from some of the issues that we are faced with today. The issues that they're faced with in biblical times also very different. And so what guides us has to be what God has been working through in our lives. And so I want to use just for a moment the example of Joseph and Daniel. We can go through their paradigmatic examples. There are others. I can talk about Nehemiah, but what fueled or funneled Joseph's journey from the being in Potiphar's house to being second in command in Egypt wasn't so much the process of him trying to get himself elected, wasn't so much the process of him trying to put himself in position. He was simply living God's call in his life. And I think we prematurely can stifle God's plan if we a priori declare that there are some places that you are not allowed to go, that you're not permitted to serve in. If God in his guidance for your life has determined that you will be second in command in a secular nation, then that's God's will. Daniel, it's the same thing, that his rise in the political sphere was not something that he sought. It's not something that he pursued. He was simply living out the call of God in his life. And so I believe for Christians in the 21st century, the definitions of what we can or can't do should not be arbitrarily determined. God is the one who directs our lives. And that means, I love the last part of what Professor Miller said, that means that for some, he may call them to political office. For others, he may call them to form alliances with political leaders in order to address certain issues. Those are matters of personal conviction, personal conscience in the way that God leads. But keep in mind, just living the gospel is radical in and of itself. It is going to challenge political system. It is going to bring about political reform. It's the very nature of the gospel.
Thank you. Thank you.